Good morning, all of you, TY BSc Physics student. We have to see here the subject which is solid state physics. We want to continue here the second chapter, which X-ray diffraction and other characterization techniques. Starting for the today's point, we have to summarize the last lecture. In the last lecture, we have start here the point of the characterization technique. In this characterization technique, we have see the different method of the characterization technique considered as the spectrochemical method, fluorescence analysis method, mass spectroscopy, X-ray powder diffractometry, thermal analysis technique. These are the method which is see in here the last lecture, and the main characterization technique which is see in here the thermal gravimetric analysis, or see in this thermal gravimetric analysis which is increase the temperature of the material or the atom or the molecule, and what property of changes that mass which is decreases and melting point and whatever reaction take place, and what is the thermal gravimetric analysis data sheet, which is what idea which is concluding there. This is also seen in the last lecture, and the uses of the thermal gravimetric analysis, and also see the ultraviolet and visible absorption spectroscopy, that is the due to the increase the radiation or incidental radiation on the molecule, or to have excite the electron and de-excite electron on whatever pattern which is seen in the ultraviolet and visible absorption spectroscopy. Now in this lecture we want to start the point of the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy. Okay, so if we have to say that conventional absorption, that is the conventional, we have to say that conventional absorption or emission spectroscopy, so that is the transition between two atomic or molecular level which are the studied, and this radiation which is absorbed or emitted in the process which is exactly equal to the difference in the two different energy level. And we have to see here, let us study for the photoelectron spectroscopy, and this photoelectron spectroscopy mainly includes that have two technique uses here. One is the UPS and second one is the XPS. That UPS which is considered as the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy, and XPS considered as the X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy. So if we have see this principle of this spectroscopy, by the depends on the photoelectric effect, or we have already idea what is mean by the photoelectric effect. So that photoelectric effect which is means by the emission of electrons for a material surface, emission of electron for a material surface when it is illuminated by the light or any radiation of suitable wavelength. So that means that the radiation which is incident on the material surface, and due to the this radiation of suitable wavelength which is matches to this surface electrons and which is emitted from the material surface. So this phenomena which is considered as the photoelectric effect, and due to this photoelectric effect, so that principle of photoelectron spectroscopy which is based on this photoelectric effect, the emitted electrons which is also called as the photoelectrons. Okay, by due to this photoelectric effect, whatever that electron which is emitted, so that electron which is considered as photoelectron. And according to the energy conservation, that we have to know that whatever radiation which is incident on the surface of material, so that light or electromagnetic wave which is considered as the energy E is equal to h nu. H is the Planck's constant and nu is the frequency of the wave, and that is the sum of the ionization energy of the material or a sample and kinetic energy of the photoelectron, or that is this photoelectron which is emit from the material surface, that is also known as the ejected electrons, and this equal to the energy of the incident on the photon. So you know that, so that radiation or light wave or electromagnetic wave which is incident on the material surface, so that energy which is considered as E is equal to h nu. So see in the equation 2.12, so that E is equal to h nu here the LHS side, and RHS side half of mv square. So that half of mev square which is considered as the kinetic energy of the ejected electron, and I is the ionization of the energy of ionization energy of the sample. So for using this technique, so we have two appliances which are called as using the measure of the ionization energy of the molecule, when which is calculate the ionization energy of the molecule, so that electrons which are ejected from the different orbital of the molecules. Okay, so for example radiation which is incident on the material, so whatever suitable wavelength, that means that, so that your radiation which is incident on inner core shell or outer shell or valence shell, and which shell electrons which is emitted, so that's depends on this energy, so that ionization energy, and that ionization energy which is means that the minimum amount of energy which is need to knock out the electron or remove the electron from the shell of the atom or the molecule. So this ejected electron which is maybe originate from a number of different orbitals, and each one has a different ionization energy, and hence a series of different kinetic energy of the ejected electron which is obtained by the photoelectron satisfy the equation, and this equation which is see already, that h nu is equal to half of m v square plus I. So see here mev square, that is the ejected electron kinetic energy, I is the ionization energy of the ith orbital, and this by or that ith orbital which is considered as I is equal to 1 2 3 so on, so that the orbital number, and by measuring of the kinetic energy of ejected electron and knowing frequency of incident photon, so the ionization energy can be obtained. So now second point which is considered as the ejected electron may be leave positive ion in the vibrational excited energy. So in the above formula add the vibrational energy which is can be that formula considered as h nu is equal to half of mev square plus I. This is original formula, and add one of the term which is considered as the vibrational energy, and this vibrational energy which is used to excite the positive ion core into the vibration, and this vibrational or quantum, that is the excited, leads to the different kinetic energy of ejected electrons and produce the vibration structure in the photoelectron spectra, and this ionization energy of the molecule are several electron which is hold from the valence of the electron. So for example consider the requirement of the ultraviolet region of the spectrum having the wavelength which is considered as the less than 200 nanometer, and that photoelectron spectroscopy, that wavelength which is also known as the less than the 200 nanometer, and the core of the electrons of atom or molecule are to be probe out the high energy which is needed from the purpose of the X-ray use. So that is mean by in this spectroscopy the range of the wavelength which is considered as less than the 200 nanometer, and the ionization energy which is required higher energy or larger energy to leave the emitted electrons with less kinetic energy. So this is so that two main points here. So first of all, ionization energy which is used, that electron which is knocked out or ejected from less kinetic energy, and on the other hand the also ionization energy that required to the smaller energy, so that leave the emitted electrons or eject the electrons with high kinetic energy. These are two main point, and according to this ionization energy, that is the pattern of the kinetic energy which are related to the ionization energy of the atom or the molecule or the sample which is considered in this spectroscopy. And this spectroscopy, that the kinetic energy of the photoelectron are major function of the frequency. So if you consider in short that photoelectron spectroscopy, also we have already seen that we have two main techniques. First one is the XPS, that is X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy, and UPS, that means as the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy. And this XPS, so that is or UPS, ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy, and X-ray photoelectron spectroscopy. In both this spectroscopy, that UPS, that is ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy, usually the probes of the valence electrons in an atom of a solid, and XPS, which is the core or vital electrons. So that is known here idea that UPS, which is used for the valence electron which is ejected out, and XPS, which is the see the pattern of the that electrons which is emitted from the core shell of the atom. And earlier which is say that the EPS, which is mainly using the identifying of the chemical state of the atom and the molecule, and UPS was also known as the electron spectroscopy for the chemical analysis, early for the C for this spectroscopy. So now we want to see here the next point, which is considered as the instrumentation of the ultraviolet visible spectrometer. And this instrument which is used in the ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, that is called as the UV spectrometer. In this UV spectrometer, consider as the measures of the intensity of light which is passing through the sample, and this intensity which is considered as firstly I, and which is compared to the intensity of light which is passing through the sample, or which is passing through before it passes through the sample. So that is original intensity or initial intensity which is considered as I naught. And if we want to take the intensity ratio which is considered as I upon I naught, so that is original intensity which is before passing the sample or after passing the sample, and this ratio which is called as the transmittance, and it is usually expressed in a percentage, that percent T absorbance A, which is based on the transmittance, and this A is equal to minus log of the percent T divided by 100%. So that is considered as, if we calculate the percentage of T, that is the transmittance, with the help of the intensity of the light, so have to taken the minus of log this with the 100%. Next point of this instrumentation which is considered as, this UV visible spectrometer can also be configured to measure the reflectance, and in this case that spectrometer measure the intensity of light reflected from sample I and compares with the intensity of light which is reflected from the reference material of I naught, because you have to see the figure of the schematic of the UV visible spectrometer. So consider here in this figure one of the substance taking as a sample and one of the taking as the reference. That reference which has the passing of the light which is 100%, that is intensity 100%, and after sample whatever conclusion which is takes place that has recorded. So that's why here consider that the spectrometer which is also used as the reflectance, and the spectrometer which is the measure the intensity of light which is reflected from the sample eye, and compare with the intensity which is reflected for using this diagram or schematic of the UV visible spectrometer, so that taking as the reference material I naught. So that is such as considered as the white style, and that ratio of I upon I naught which is considered as the reflectance, and which is usually expressed as in the percentage of I. So two concept of is here. First of the consider as the transmittance, that transmittance which is considered as the ratio of intensity I upon I naught, and this is calculated by the transmission of the wave from this material, and if we this wave which is incident on the material and which is reflected from intensity, so that ratio which is I upon I naught called as the percentage ratio. And this the spectrometer of the light showed which is holder for the sample of the diffraction, which is the grating in the monochromator or a prism, and that is in the if you see in the this figure, so that consider as the holder sample is there, and a monochromator or grating which is also used for the prism to separate the different wavelength of the light, and a detector, and this radiation of the source which is obtained from the tungsten filament. So we have to see in the figure, so that tungsten lamp which is also there, that is and D2 lamp, so that tungsten filament which has the range of 300 to 2500 nanometer, and second lamp which is used there, that is the deuterium lamp, and that deuterium lamp which continues over the ultraviolet region for 190 to 400 nanometer range, and also use the xenon arc lamp which is the continuous from the 160 to 2000 nanometer range of the light passing through it. So that more recently here source which is used for the LED, that is the light emitting diode, which is for the visible wavelength. So these are the information or idea about the ultraviolet visible spectrometer. So what is meant by transmittance, what is meant by reflectance, and which type of the source which is used here. So see in the next point which is the here the detector which is also used, that is considered as the photomultiplier tube, or a photodiode array of a charge coupled device, that is considered as a CCD. Or we have to know that the role of the photomultiplier which is incident the light of this photomultiplier tube, so that is the increasing the intensity or also the wavelength of the electrons on this next tube, so that is the photomultiply, so that is increasing the electrons or range of the electrons of this, so that this instrument which is used photomultiplier tube as well as the charge coupled device, that is CCD, and this single photodiode detector and photomultiplier tube are used for the scanning monochromator, which is the filter from the light, so that only light of a single wavelength reaches on the detector one time. So see, so that if you see in the figure that mirror, that is lamp is there, tungsten lamp and D2 lamp, deuterium lamp, and monochromator between this filter which is used, because we have to find or we want to incident the light which is in the single monochromatic beam, and this step or the diffraction grating to step through each wavelength, so that the intensity may be measured as a function of wavelength, and the monochromator are used the CDS and photodiode arrays, and both of these devices consist of many detector grouped into one or two dimensional array, and they are able to collect the light of the different wavelength on the different pixels of the group or pixels simultaneously. So see in this figure, so that the arrangement of the UV visible spectrometer which is considered as the mirror, D2 lamp, tungsten monochromator, here beam splitter also here, and beam splitter used, and this beam which is passing through mirror from reference or sample of the material, and which is analyze the data processing for this TDS. So this schematic of the UV visible spectrometer, which is used as the whatever observation which is there or whatever result we have to recording, and this spectrometer which is considered as the single beam or double beam. So this schematic which is considered as the double beam, in single beam what is there, so that in the single beam instrument, so light which is passes through the sample, say that is I naught must be measured by the removing of the sample. Okay, so in single beam instrument, which is first of all there is no reference or there is no material, so that's passing through that intensity which is measured, and after that taking place subject, so that intensity measure. And in double beam instrument, that light which is split into the two beam, and this two beam before it reaches on the sample, and one of the beam which is used as a reference, and other beam which is passes through the sample and reference. So in this one beam which is passing through sample, one beam which is passing through the reference, so that in this beam intensity which is from the reference, that 100% of transmission of the beam, that is the zero absorbance is there, and the measurement of the display is the ratio of the two beam intensity of some double beam instrument. We have two detectors, or that is the photodiode which is also there, and the sample and reference of beam which is measured at the same time, or other instrument of the two beam which is passing through the beam of the chopper, so and block the other beam which is incident on the material, and alternate detector which is also used as the between the measuring sample beam and the reference beam of the synchronous with the chopper. So that information or this type of the instrument which is used for the technique for the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy. Now by the determination of the function of the wavelength or the complete spectrum of the absorption of the wavelength which is of the interest, can obtain produced exactly by the sophistical spectrometer which is used, and the simple instrument of the absorption which is determined by one wavelength at the time and complaint into the spectrum by the operator. So we have to see here the different function of this spectrometer determined as a function of the wavelength, consider as first of all the detection of the impurities. So that is considered as in the UV absorption spectrometry or UV absorption spectroscopy, it is the very best method to determination of the impurity is an organic molecules, or additional peak can be observed due to the impurity in the sample, and it can be compared with that of the standard raw material, and also measuring the absorptions at a specific wavelength. Impurities can be detected by the benzene appears as a common impurity of the cyclohexane, and it can be easily detected by the absorption of 255 nanometer. So that is its instrument which is a very important role in the detection of the impurity. Now second main point which is considered as the structure of the encapsulation of the organic compound. So that is mean by this UV spectroscopy, it is useful to the in the structure inclusion of the organic molecule, that is the presence and absence of the unsaturation and presence of the heteroatoms, or the location of peak of the combination of the peak. It can be concluded that whether the compound is saturated or unsaturated heteroatoms are the presence or not. Next one, which is considered as the quantitative analysis, and this quantitative analysis, that UV absorption spectroscopy, that quantitatively determination of the compound of the absorption of the UV radiation. So that is the absorption of this radiation. We have to analyze the quantitative data. So that is, which is shown by the A is equal to log of I naught by IT. So that is considered as the minus log of t, or that is log reciprocal of log of t, that is minus log t, and which is described by the epsilon Bc. Here epsilon is the extinction coefficient, C is the concentration, and B is the length of the cell. Next point, which is considered here, the qualitative analysis, and this qualitative analysis which is considered here, the UV absorption spectroscopy can be characterized those type of compound which is UV radiation, and identification which is done by comparing the absorption spectrum of the spectra of the non compounds. So these are the understanding to the information, or give the idea about the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy. So thanking of you. So this is the information about the ultraviolet photoelectron spectroscopy. Next lecture, we have to seen here the point, that is scanning electron microscope, that is SEM, and the schematic of SEM, application of SEM, and what is meant by the scanning tunneling electron microscope, that is STEM. So that also which is see in the next lecture. So thanking of you.